everybody. Preppers Warner. I spilled my tea right away. That was an issue. So, time for a little tea chat here at the homestead. So today is April 26th. It is Sunday, 2020. So I got the year right today, so it's a good start. Anyway, so I want to talk about something today, and I thought this was kind of important. I've been talking with a gentleman, and so we have been discussing a few things, and we're going to talk about solar companies. Okay, so I had gone, not this last year, but I think it was the year before. I had gone down to the balloon festival that they have, and so out this way, and so there was a solar setup where they're getting people go green. Come on, let's go green, right? So, before we get started, I just want to remind everybody too. Let me just say this real quick. I will be live streaming tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure you join me for that at again 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we will have our live stream. Now, what's been going on, and I'm going to talk about this real quick. They've been playing a lot of games, so a lot of times what's happening is the processing. So they're saying, well, people are home and the processing takes longer. It has nothing to do with it. It processes up automatically. So a normal video, like this video that I'm doing right here, processing will take 3, 4, 5 minutes maybe, and then the video's up and able to be seen by everybody. But now, the live streams, my last live stream that I did on Friday, didn't show up to, I think they said it was like 15 hours later. That's total BS. And so people were not able to see it until much later, which, like I said again, is total BS. So, if you can, please join me tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the live stream, and we will be discussing a lot of different things. We're gonna talk about the correlation with pollution with the virus, and does that have a direct link? And we're going to talk about the hospitals a little bit. We're going to get into everything, and so we're going to talk about all that tonight. So please join me 8 p.m. Eastern time for that. It should be an interesting conversation. Sundays are usually pretty good. Oh, they're all good, I should say, but Sundays we usually get a pretty decent crowd, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Okay, so let's get back into what we're talking about, right? So you have all these companies, and everybody's like, oh yeah, go green, it's the greatest thing, and da-da-da-da-da. Which is fantastic, right? Sounds good. We all want to be more efficient and more self-sufficient and help the environment and stuff like that. But all these companies that are doing this green effort, supposedly green effort, they're directly tied in with the solar, or with the RG&E, NYSEG, like Duke Energy would be another one. All these power companies, okay? The idea is you think you are doing something great and you're helping the environment and you're going green, and you can make some money back if you produce enough power. But in most cases, unless you have a very large system, and I'll talk about that in a second too, you're not making a whole bunch of money off that, and they're making money off of you, is the way it works. And when the grid goes down, you go down along with that grid. So it's like, what is the sense realistically at that point? Now, there's a couple ways around that. And, again, it's just going to be completely your choice. These solar companies are not going to tell you this because they don't encourage you to get batteries and to try to be independent. You're hearing the dogs with his dog dish. He pushes it out with his nose and eats it off the floor. Why? I have no idea. But anyway, these solar companies will discourage you from having a battery backup. Now, one way that you can do it is if you really want to be grid tied, and if you have a big enough system, and we're going to talk about that in a second. I'm going to give you an example. Then you could do it that way, and you have if you have your battery backup, you can have an internal switch basically. So if the grid goes down, then what you do is you flip that switch, and then you go onto your battery reserve. So the power coming in from your solar system or your wind turbines or whatever you have would go directly into your batteries then at that point. Okay, that is an option. Or you can be completely independent and have your own solar system, so that you are not tied into the system at all and stuff like that. Now, but Ed, if you tie into the solar system or the grid, you can make money off your excess power, all right? Which is a valid point, right? Now, there's a gentleman that I know that has a grid-tied system, because I went over and I checked out his system and he showed me everything. It was very, very cool. He has 55 250 watt panels. Now I want you to let that sink in for a second. 55 250 watt panels. All right? It's a lot of solar panels. He is grid-tied. So what does that mean? Okay, what it means is once a year he gets a check from NYSEG for the excess power. Now, the best way to break this down for you guys so that you understand, being grid-tied, you still get a bill every month. Okay, even if you're having excess power, you're still going to get a bill every month for line charges, connection fees, and all that type of stuff. Now he showed me, this gentleman did, he gets a bill every month for $43. All right, you break that down over a year, it's about $500 he's got to pay out for that. Okay, and then once a year, and I think he said his was in like August or something, he gets a check. He said it's generally about $6,800, which sounds great. His investment into his solar system was over $70,000. Now, I don't know about you. I don't have $70,000 sitting around that I can just go ahead and throw into something like that. Okay. So anyway, what happened was, so he got like 10 years for his return. So he gets the $6,800 a year, but he's still paying out the $500. So now that takes that $6,800 down to $6,300, which still sounds great. But again, he has 55 250 watt panels. Now, first of all, do you have the room to put up that many panels? Do you have the sunlight to be able to do that? And depending on where your location is, obviously, too. When we're in the north, so seasonally we don't get as much. So he's making more power in the summer, and the company, or they buy it. But with the way that the system works, and I'm just going to explain it this way so it makes it really simple. Let's say it's $1 a therm that you get, or that they're charging you for your power. And I'm making this number up, okay? So it's $1 a therm. Well, the power company is buying your power from your solar system that you paid for, that's being fed back into the grid for 50 cents a therm, okay? And then they sell it back to you at $1 a therm. So we kind of understand that, right? So if you have a great big system like this gentleman does, where he has, again, 55 250 watt panels, in the long run he wins, because once he gets past his 10-year investment scheme of, paying back what he put out, then after that he gets that check every year and it's gravy. Now that's great. But in that time period, you're talking degrading of your solar system and stuff like that. It would still produce power, but they get, they lose percentages over time. Even if it's 1% a year, you're still losing something, okay? And he's still tied to the grid, and when the grid goes down, he goes down. He does not have that battery backup. So there are rebates that you get from the state, and stuff like that, which are great. I've taken advantage of those myself with my own solar system. You do not have to be grid tied. You can be an independent solar system. Now, the difference is you're not going to get that monthly yearly check from the power company. But again, unless you have a huge solar system, you're not going to get a check anyway. Okay. Now, I have a 4,020 watt system that I have for my solar system. The way that it works out, I make enough power, more than enough power for my needs. Okay, but if I was hooked into the system, again, they would be buying it for 50 cents a therm, then selling it back to me for, $1 a therm, and then my excess power that I make above and beyond, they're buying it again at 50 cents a therm, and then they're turning around, they're selling it to other people for that $1 a therm. So I hope that makes sense. So this gentleman that is making all this excess power, and he gets that check once a year, in reality, that check should probably be $13,000 to $14,000, but they're not giving him the true value of what that solar input that he's producing is. Okay. these solar companies are working directly hand in hand with the power companies, okay? So they're getting kickbacks and they're getting incentivized to encourage you to be grid tied because it's so much better for you and yada yada. But again, when the power grid goes down, you're down as well. And that's BS. If you've put all this money into your solar system, you should have that. Now, with having your own independent solar system and having your own batteries and stuff like that, it gives you a freedom. You do not get a monthly bill. Since we have been here at the homestead, June will start our 6th year full time here at the homestead. Okay, I have not received one gas and electric bill in that entire time because I am not hooked up to their system. I am independent. Now, has it taken us a while to get to where we are? Absolutely it has. You guys, anybody that's watched my journey from the beginning knows we've had our struggles with solar, okay? But, again, I highly encourage anybody, if you can do it, to go solar. You don't necessarily have to use one of these companies. They're going to give you an estimate, for whatever the cost may be and stuff like that, and they're going to make a lot of money off of that system. They're, for putting that in for you, they're going to make a nice chunk of change. Now, you will get, a return on your investment with the tax write-offs and the tax breaks, which is great. But again, who wins with a grid-tied system? You do a little bit, but who wins more? The power company wins more because they still own you, they still control you, they still have everything is in their hands. You have no battery backup. They don't want you to have that battery backup so that you could switch over. They don't want that because they don't have control then, see? So again, this is a choice. If you're going to go with solar, you have to decide what's going to be best for you. And unless you can afford a really large solar system and make a large investment, I would absolutely encourage you to go off-grid completely. And again, you are free. When everybody else's power goes out, your power stays on. That's what I love about it, okay? So, wanted to share that with you because I was talking to this gentleman and, he's having some issues and trying to figure out exactly how he wants to do things and all those type of things. So, I might be doing a side job for him. So, but again, don't think that these energy companies and stuff like that are your friend and they're there to help you. They're not. They're there to make money, and they're there to make money for themselves. Which, of course, if it is a business, you're trying to make money, but they're also making money for the power companies, and then you're still owned. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about with that. Okay, so I think that's really important, and I wanted to be, clarify those type of things, and so people could kind of understand, and hopefully you guys do with talking with this. So if you're thinking about doing a solar system, if you can find somebody that knows solar, that can do it, and you can trust them and help you to make your own system for your own property, work with somebody like that. These companies, again, like I said, I don't trust them. Like I said, they're not 100% forthcoming. And so I think that is an issue, okay? And like I said, if I could have it that everybody could be independent on their own with their own solar and not have to be tied to a system where if you had financial hardships or something happened and you couldn't pay your gas and electric bill, that they shut you off. I mean, that's a power they have over you. You better behave or we're going to punish you. Well, if you have your own independent system, they can't punish you, can they? So I thought that was kind of interesting. I wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully you can take something away from that. Today here at the homestead, it has been raining all day. So it has been a very wet day here at the homestead, about 46 degrees outside. Just, one of those kind of days is what we have to deal with weather. Everybody has to deal with that. I hope you're enjoying the fire. The fire's going nicely. Actually, I got to feed that. And yeah, I enjoy a fire. It feels good. It's nice to have. It's very relaxing. It's very soothing. It's a great heat. I really enjoy that. I really do. Again, a lot of work, but well worth it in my estimation. And like I said, I heated up my water on the wood stove and having a nice bit of tea, which is always nice. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's safe. I will see you all tonight at 8 p.m. for the live stream. So please join me then. I think that we'll have a nice conversation, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Okay, and so I think the title for the stream will be what part does pollution play? I think, and that kind of makes it a generic thing. So we'll see how that goes. But so look for me tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the live stream. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Also, remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that can stop you from getting there is you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. I hope everybody's having a great day, and I will see you all tonight. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.